That, believe it or not, was the Christmas story according to the Gospel of John. It doesn't sound like it. It's nothing like a Charlie Brown Christmas or even the story from Luke we heard a couple of days ago. There isn't even a baby in it. But that's John for you. He doesn't bother with angels or shepherds or wise men. He's focused more on the theology than on the event itself. John is running up against the capacity of human language to describe the holy. He can't express this directly, so he uses metaphor, symbol, poetry. John retells the story of creation. In the beginning was the Word, the creative, redeeming power of God, the divine speech and wisdom. And all things came into being through the Word. All that is, plants, animals, planets, stars, the raw materials of earth, everything owes its existence to the Word. Life itself owes its existence to the Word. And that life gives the light of understanding to all people, not only to a select few. That light shines where it isn't wanted, isn't understood. And those forces of rejection and indifference don't overcome the light. The world that God so loves is baffled by the Word, put off by it, threatened even. But the Word still gives life to the world. The light of the Word continues to shine. And to those who do welcome the Word, no matter who they are or where they are from, the Word gives power to become children of God who are born of God. That's not a metaphor. John means that literally. We, you and I, dear ones, we are actual children of God. And finally, John gets to the Christmas moment. The Word, the creative, redeeming power of God, the divine speech and wisdom through whom all things were made, the Word became flesh and lived as one of us in Jesus. We have seen his glory. We too are witnesses of this. No one has ever seen God. Not even Moses, the greatest leader of God's people, got to see God face to face. Only the Word in human flesh, Jesus Christ, reveals God and makes God known. You know Jesus Christ? You know God. For John, the details of how and where Jesus was born pale in comparison to these truths. We are children of God. The Word became flesh. Jesus Christ reveals God. These are lofty truths expressed in the messiest of all media, human bodies. Bodies are so valuable to God that God became a body. It is through a human body that we are able to know God at all. I don't know about you, but I struggle to believe sometimes that a person could be a worthy vessel for God. Because people are so messed up. The human capacity for failure, brokenness, sin, and outright evil seems vast. We can see it all around us. Human beings fire tear gas at babies. They shoot up schools and churches and synagogues. They waste and pollute the earth. They abuse and assault others. They enrich themselves at the expense of the vulnerable. And lest I give myself a pass because I don't do those things, I need to remember the selfish and hurtful things I have done and said. The times I chose what was easy instead of what was right. the times I have betrayed the values I claim to profess. That's true for all of us. How can any human being be fit to hold the word in flesh? The poet Denise Levertov writes, "It's when we face for a moment the worst our kind can do and shudder to know the taint in our own selves, that awe cracks the mind's shell and enters the heart. Not to a flower, not to a dolphin, to no innocent form, but to this creature vainly sure it and no other is godlike. God, out of compassion for our ugly failure to evolve, entrusts as guest, as brother, the Word." We human beings are broken and sinful, and the Word is our guest. The Word is our brother, for he is the Son of God and we are children of God. We cannot do anything to earn it or deserve it. We can only hold this truth with awe. John's ultimate goal, his entire reason for writing his gospel in the first place, is to draw us into a relationship with Jesus Christ. That relationship will transform us, because you cannot encounter the Word made flesh and go away the same. Over and over again, John's gospel shows people meeting Jesus. They have these confusing conversations because John's Jesus insists on talking elliptically. And when people recognize who Jesus is, that the Word made flesh is here among them, they respond with wonder. They go away and they find their whole lives have changed. Jesus has changed them. They start out lonely, vulnerable, grieving, in need of healing, in need of absolution, and now they belong. They rejoice. They are healed, forgiven, restored to community. A woman at a well, a man born blind, Martha and Mary of Bethany, Mary Magdalene, Peter, this happens to all of them. Transformation happens because that is what a relationship with the Word made flesh does to us. Perhaps you're here this morning because you're beginning a relationship with Jesus. You're looking for that kind of transformation in your life. Maybe you have a relationship with Jesus, and it's been obscured by all the things you need to do in this awful year. It feels like you've lost sight of Jesus. Maybe your relationship with Jesus is close and strong, and you rejoice in it. Perhaps you don't know why you came to church today. Habit, or a nagging family member, or a hazy desire for something. You don't know what. You wouldn't say you have a relationship with Jesus, and you're not sure you want one. Wherever each of us is today, I invite us to set doing aside, just for now. There will be plenty of time for that tomorrow. What has been done has been done. What has not been done has not been done. Let it be. For today, we get to sit in wonder. God knows the taint within human nature. And out of compassion, the Word became flesh and lived among us. Through him, we know God. And we are children of God, actual children of God, precious and beloved. Jesus is our guest, our brother. We hold our breath in awe. We gaze with wonder at the light shining in the darkness. We sit still in amazed gratitude that God has come to us. To us. And when finally we breathe, we blink and move, we find that we are different. The Word lives among us, and it changes our whole lives.